Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. It is St. Patrick's Day. See, I'm wearing green. However, I recognize that this video is going to go on after St. Patrick's Day. I couldn't get it all together to time things right this time. So sorry about that. But the movie I'm reviewing today is called Irish Wish. It's a romantic comedy now playing on Netflix. So I actually am a little bit Irish. And in fact, I don't know if you can see these earrings I bought in Ireland when I finally got to go there for the very first time last year. And it was beautiful. It was everything that I wanted it to be. It was so much fun. And I'm now even more excited about studying my ancestry and my husband's ancestry. He's got a little touch of Irish as well. So today, the movie I'm reviewing, as I mentioned, is called Irish Wish. It's rated TVG. It's an hour and 33 minutes long. And my overall movie review mom grade for this movie is a C plus. So let me give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked, things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also like. All right, you ready to get started? All right, let's go. So, in a nutshell, the story is about a book editor whose best friend suddenly marries the man she's in love with, the author of the book that she helped write. The grand wedding takes place in beautiful Ireland. The film was directed by Janine Damian, and writing credits go to Kirsten Hansen. It's already won the Reframe Stamp Award, which is given to films that hire women and other underrepresented gender identities in at least 50% of key roles of the production, including writing, directing, acting, and all of that. So if you like Hallmark movies, I think that you're really going to enjoy this. If you don't like them, then you might want to skip this one because it definitely has a Hallmark vibe to it. So quick tips for parents. Young kids are definitely going to be bored. It's adults talking and falling in love and that kind of thing. There's no profanity except for words like crap, which I actually say that. I don't swear, but I do say that sometimes if I get really mad. And if I get really, really mad, I'll say crappity crap. That's it. Otherwise, I've got a very clean mouth. Anyway, there is some comical violence in it, kind of like what you would expect in a Hallmark movie if there were violence of any kind. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well are fate, which is appropriate for Ireland, wishes, right? Love, speaking up for yourself, honesty, doubting yourself, and writing your own life story. And I love that whole writing vibe. So, speaking of things that I liked, here's a long list. First of all, Lindsay Lohan is easily watchable in romantic comedies. She fits in perfectly in an Irish setting with her luscious red locks. And in case you're wondering, she's now 37 years old. I think that she looks great. She easily pokes fun at herself, and I really like that about her. Others in the cast include Ed Spelliers, Alexander Vlahos, Maddie McCable, and the always beautiful Jane Seymour. I was excited to see this film, as I mentioned, since I finally got to have the pleasure of going to Ireland for the very first time last summer. And it was magical, just like the leprechauns. We loved the food, the historical buildings, the dancing, of course, positive energy. The people were just friendly. We had a great time. The only bad thing about it was that I didn't get to spend more time. I would love to have seen the whole country, but we were limited because we were racing over to France afterwards. And so we had to cut our time short. So I would love to go back and hit all the areas that I hadn't seen before. There's so much to see there, just really beautiful. We also get to see a gorgeous Irish castle in this movie, as well as stunning Irish landscapes. The settings are beautiful with lovely cinematography. We get to learn about Irish food like boxties, which is an Irish pancake, which I never ate when I was in Ireland. We had things like black pudding, which I thought was interesting. And it's not pudding, but it is black. And then we even had white pudding. Anyway, and just some other interesting Irish foods that I had never had before. But we don't see those in the movie. And in fact, other than the box teas, there isn't a whole lot of Irish food, not as much green clothing as I thought. But actually, I'll get to some of that here in just a minute. I'm always fascinated about movies about writers, since I've actually published 31 nonfiction books myself. You can find all of them in bookstores, as well as I think all of them, almost all of them, are on Amazon. So that's my little shameless plug. You can just write my name, Trina Boice, in Amazon and they'll pick up. They're just on a variety of topics. And by the way, if you follow me on Amazon, or well, you can follow me on Amazon by going to my Author Central page and clicking follow, and then you'll be notified when I have new book uploads. But you can also follow me on Instagram as Movie Review Mom, but also as Trina Boice. And that's where I post when I offer my books for free on Amazon, which is almost every weekend. Anyway, back to the movie. So be sure and enjoy the song that plays during the final rolling credits by Aliana Lohan, called Coming Home. Ali is Lindsay Lohan's younger sister. So I thought that was really cool. Now, there really were just a few things that I didn't like. I mentioned a few of them already, not as much Irish as I really would have liked. But other than that, in terms of just the story, some of the dialogue is super cringy. The story itself is super formulaic and filled with rom-com tropes. And, that's kind of hallmarky as well. You know instantly when you see the couple that's going to eventually fall in love. You just can tell. And then the costuming, the design kind of seemed a little off. Again, I would have loved to have seen more green, which would have looked gorgeous on Lindsay Lohan, but they had her wearing just kind of some odd clothing choices. And then even some of the other people weren't quite as Irish as I wanted them to be. I don't know. And it kind of seemed maybe not old fashioned, but not quite to current trends. Not that I'm a fashionista or anything. I'm just saying. Now, whenever I watch movies, I take notes, of course, but I also write down funny lines and interesting lines so that you can get a taste for the script writing quality and the dialogue and all of that. So as I was reviewing my notes, I realized I didn't write down any funny lines. It's supposed to be a comedy, but nothing really made me laugh out loud per se. But I did write down quite a few interesting lines. You can see all of these, by the way, in my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So a couple of really interesting lines were spoken by Ed Spellier's character. I'm probably pronouncing his name incorrectly. Sorry about that, Ed. Anyway, at one point he says, everyone has something to say. They just have to be brave enough to say it. And that's what's interesting, I think. The script did a good job of turning an editor of a book into being someone who's afraid to use her own words to speak for herself. And so she learns a few lessons about that. Another line that this character, played by Ed Spellier, says is, it's one thing to edit a book, but you shouldn't go on editing your own life, which is what Lindsay Lohan's character is doing. She's kind of playing it safe and letting other people have the limelight and letting other people have the say in her own life as well. So again, she learned some lessons about that. And then when Lindsay Lohan's character confesses that she made a wish to Saint Bridget, a priest exclaims and tells her, you have to be careful with that one. She's known to have a sense of humor. When you ask her for something, she may not give you what you want, but she'll always give you what you need. And I thought that was interesting. And I love that they brought in it's sort of a religious cultural icon in Ireland. And by the way, when I was in Ireland, I got to go to Trinity College, where they have this massive, massive library, the Trinity College Library. I think it was called something else. I can't remember, which was gorgeous. Anyway, I was super excited to see that and to see a bunch of the churches in Ireland, which are so old and so beautiful, gorgeous stained glass. We saw some really lovely things. Anyway, then Lindsay Lohan's character says, I just think if you're going to go through with something like this, like a wedding, a marriage, a life, that it should be with someone you love, not just someone you wish for, because she has this little wish. And then she learns and says towards the end of the movie, I have to live my own destiny. And I thought that, there were some really good life lessons in the film. Now, I wanted to tell you three movies that I instantly thought of as I was watching this one. The first one is a recent rom-com called Falling for Christmas. And again, it's very predictable. She looks gorgeous in it. And I filmed that movie review. In fact, I'll load that one up. As soon as this one's over, you can click on it and watch my review of that one. Of course, it's around Christmas time, but it's kind of cute, kind of charming, and her character learns some life lessons. Another one, the one I think that really put Lindsay Lohan on the map, is the 2004 Mean Girls. And I also reviewed the new one that just recently came out, and I was so tickled to see her in it. She plays a very minor role, but I love that she was in it. And the lines that she says in that movie were actually pretty cute. And then another one of my favorite Lindsay Lohan movies is Freaky Friday. I love that both the mother and the daughter, who switch places in a magical, weird way, both learn life lessons. And I just thought it was very, very sweet. And I liked both characters a lot. Anyway, check those out if you haven't seen them. I hope that my movie reviews are helpful. If they are, give them a thumbs up or subscribe or comment down below and let me know which Lindsay Lohan movie is your favorite. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.